Joining us now is one of the most famous alum from Bama, Super Bowl III MVP, Joe Namath. He joins us on behalf of the Joe Namath Foundation that benefits children, neurological research, and education opportunities. So appreciate all that work you're doing in the community, and thank you so much for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me. You know, life's the team game itself, just like sports, man, but only more important.
No question. Let's start with Bama, speaking of a team game. 4-point favorites to win another national championship. How worried should your Tide be about the Bulldogs?
Well, you see what I'm wearing here. You know, we are excited, of course. We weren't in that Final Four to start with. You know, we were kept in suspense. Coach Saban's done another great job. And, Max, really, to know Coach Saban is to love him, buddy. Kind of like Belichick, you know?
How is he able to do Broadway, Joe Namath? It's a pleasure to have you on. How is he able to be this much better than everyone else? It is absurd, the level of dominance that Alabama has once again reached and sustained. How does Saban do it?
Well, first of all, his process, most importantly, are the players. He gets the players and he applies the process, his belief to what he's doing. You know, he comes from a football family. His daddy was a football coach. So a lot of these coaches, it's in their blood, it's their passion, man, but you got to have the players to be able to get it done.
Broadway Joe, always an honor and a privilege to talk to you, my man Stephen A. here. Your thoughts about Nick Saban's complaint about having to play the national championship game just a week after they just won a national semifinal?
Well, I think it's legit. Of course, these are college kids. There's a lot going on, making the transition that Georgia had to make going back and that Alabama's making. And then everything going on, which is all wonderful stuff. To be able to compete for a championship is great. But as you know, being there, it's time-consuming in a way that the normal week isn't. The players are tired. They're going to play. Hey, they're going to play. It's not going to be an excuse for either team. But it would be nice having that extra week to build the game even more, but to give those players some physical rest in between.
Joe, can we transition to the pros here? Because the team with which you won a Super Bowl, the New York Football Jets, seems to have found a coach here. What do you think? I saw what Todd Bowles, who was on the hot seat, it seemed like, coming into the year. Todd Bowles had these guys playing hard all year. What do you think about the coach? Have the Jets found a keeper?
Well, you hit it right on the head there. Todd Bowles, he's disciplined this team. He's got something going there. As you know, some of the players that are outstanding players, he was able to change, put on another team possibly, and sit somebody down that wasn't quite on the same page. I got to say, Christopher Johnson, he's become a very fine leader, and his enthusiasm is terrific, man. I hope McCagnon can add to this team because we do need a trigger man that's going to be a top-notch trigger man to be able to get to the playoffs, to be able to win.
I'm going to check your loyalty here, Joe, Broadway Joe, and I'm going to ask you a question. Are you satisfied with who the Jets have as their personnel at the quarterback position, or are they in desperate need of a quarterback, and that's exactly what they capture in this upcoming draft?
Well, I think that's what they should capture in this upcoming draft, depending on if any are still available at the 6th pick. You know, they go 6th, and they're going to have a chance to look these people over. Stephen A., I've questioned over the years who is picking the players. You know, I know Coach Bowles has some input. I know McCagnon has some input. There's some people behind the scenes, too, that evaluate these different players. We've had some good draft picks. There are some on the team, but we can do better, and we do need that quarterback.